Hi, I'm Mike Schofield, Chief Actuary and Risk Officer for Sun Life Canada. In my over 25 years working in the financial services, I've worked through many periods of volatility. I can understand the worries some of you may be feeling. COVID-19 has brought a lot of unknowns and uncertainties into our lives. This pandemic, in addition to being a serious global health crisis, has driven dramatic swings in the markets. Most of the time, it's impossible to see these events before they begin. Many different events have sparked volatility in the past, but when we look at history, how these events play out in the longer term is often similar. Looking historically, the market has always recovered from downturns and produced gains. And those who stay invested have realized those gains over the longer term. Investors who sell when the market goes down may suffer unnecessarily by locking in their loss from selling at a low value and missing the market rebound. Just as it's nearly impossible to foresee when the market will go down, predicting when it will rally is difficult. The most likely result of selling after a downturn is you'll miss some of the best gains during a recovery. Let's look at an example. If you invested $10,000 on January 1st, 1985, we can see the impact of missing the best days during a recovery. Missing just the 5 best days over 35 years means a return of $32,000 less when you compare it to doing nothing at all and just leaving your money invested. In a worst case scenario, missing the best 50 days means you're only gaining around $43,000 over 35 years. At Sun Life, protecting our clients is as much a part of our business as helping you grow your savings. When large market forces are at play, it's normal to want to do something to take control of the situation. Experience tells us the best thing to do when you have invested in a diversified portfolio for the longer term is to stay the course. Stay invested, keep your long-term plan in mind, and focus on your health and the health of people around you. Many things influence markets right now. The news on the virus is causing a lot of economic disruption, as is industry-specific challenges in the oil market. Looking back to periods of disruptions following the H1N1 pandemic in 2009 and SARS in 2003, both of these health crises caused relatively short-term impacts to growth. The deciding factors in current situation will likely be how long COVID-19 disrupts economies and how governments respond. We've seen a lot of action from governments in a short period of time. Lower interest rates and stimulus spending shows there's a willingness to use policy to try to limit the impact to our economy. As COVID-19 runs its course in various countries, these types of backstops can lessen the likelihood of recession or reduce the severity if there is one. Each market downturn has its own set of circumstances. Today, countries are doing things in the interest of public health that, by their nature, limit certain types of economic activity: travel, tourism, commuting to and from the office. One thing that is common to temporary market downturns is the emotional element. There are sometimes negative feedback loops where fear feeds on itself. The other side of this is that our desire to be productive and make money usually kicks in. Investors see low prices in markets and start to buy. Economic fear eventually recedes, and that may be why the market drops are eventually followed by periods of recovery. And sometimes that recovery can be very strong. As I said though, each period is different, so it's impossible to say that things will snap back in this month or year. However, the historical record is that recoveries do happen. When it comes to your personal financial situation, there are a couple things to think about right now. First, think about your time horizon, or when do I need to use my investments? If that amount of time is measured in years rather than months, you have time on your side. History tells us that markets grow over the longer term. Next, think about how comfortable you are with risk. This is a time where a person's risk tolerance is tested. Does seeing a potentially short-term drop in your investment value cause anxiety? If so, talking to a financial professional might help. This is a great time to make use of resources available to you. This includes the advice available through your workplace plan or reaching out to a financial advisor if you have one. If you feel you need more support, we can help you find an advisor. Ultimately, the most important investment you can make is in your health. Stay safe, and remember, we're here to help you navigate these uncertain times.